So in my previous video, I was talking about how to set up your stuff so your HTML is connected, quote unquote, with your CSS and your JavaScript. And to do that, you have to use the link tag and the script tag. But I said some things that weren't quite true, and you probably had some questions. So first of all, I was saying that there's this server with your HTML and your CSS and your JavaScript, but like, what is that server? Because this is all on your computer. This is all on your computer. So where is this server that these requests are going out to? And another question you might have is like, what's this file thing? You've gone to like Google before and seen HTTPS, but like you never use this file thing. So what's that? And let me answer that question first. Well, actually, they're related. So this file thing is a protocol, just like HTTPS and HTTP are protocols. And the same thing is happening where you've got different things communicating with each other. This thing, client and the server, communicating with each other. But you could use the HTTP protocol, or you can also use the file protocol. And they're just different protocols. And the file protocol is used to send requests and responses within your own computer. So let me show you. This is my computer. I've got the Adams Earner folder. Inside there, I've got a code directory and a test directory with my stuff in here. So from here, I want to send a request to test.css. So I send the request out using the file protocol because it's within my computer. And if I tried to do this with HTTP or HTTPS, it wouldn't work. So if you're doing things within your own computer, it has to be the file protocol. And you can see when I went here, I used the file protocol, not HTTP. So let's see what happens if I try that. Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, so then there's the question of like, what is this? Like, what is, like, is there a server? Like, I thought servers were things that were external to your computer. And I did say that in my first video, but that also isn't true. A server isn't necessarily a physical thing. It's actually just like a piece of software. So you can sort of imagine that there's this box that contains these files and that is capable of listening for requests and responding to those requests accordingly with the right files. So without getting into the details of that, you can imagine that that's true and that a server isn't necessarily a physical machine. It's a piece of software that can do this. So your computer has this software that knows to listen for requests for these files and to respond to them. That's just a thing. So that answers the first question of what this server is, and also the file protocol. But let me elaborate on this file protocol a little bit. So I remember running into an issue when I was at my first what are they called? Where you stay up late for 24 hours and code all night. Hackathon. I was at my first hackathon, and I copy and pasted something like this, and it wasn't working, and it's worked before for me, and I didn't know why. This is a CDN to Bootstrap, and the problem was that before I was using HTTP and it was working fine, but then I was trying to do this like I've got here with the file protocol, and it was giving me this error. And the reason for that is because if these slashes aren't prefaced with anything, like an HTTP or a file or whatever, it defaults to whatever is here. And given that I'm using the file thing here, it defaults to that, and it's trying to send a request using the file protocol. And, you know, this doesn't exist in my local file system, so I'm getting the error. And to fix that, you just do this. You specify what the protocol is. And it works. And so that might also address a question you might have had about how this isn't prefaced with anything. And that gets into relative file paths. So because this isn't prefaced with anything, you can see here that the request isn't going out to just test.css like it says here. It's going out to this whole thing. And that's because the request is coming from here. So basically your browser knows to preface it with this.